Hey everyone, welcome back to Prairie Grown Reviews. We review books, games, movies, and TV shows. And today we are back for episode 5 of Hawkeye. Partners, am I right? The intonation was wrong there, but it works. Moving on. Nat, do the thing.
Yeah, as usual. If you guys liked our content, be sure to like and subscribe to our channel. Ring the notification bell for notifications when we post. These videos usually come weekly. We try to post weekly. Usually on ideally Wednesdays, but
Typically
we'll see.
Wednesdays.
That's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, somewhere back half of the week. Anyways,
It could be Tuesday.
could
Sunday.
be Tuesday.
Who
I
knows?
don't
It just
think we've
depends
ever
on what
posted
happens.
on a Tuesday.
Nope.
Anyways, that's besides the point. Usually around
Not a
Wednesday,
video.
Thursday, Friday, that range. If you enjoy listening to us, if you would rather that, we do have a podcast available on all podcast platforms. So if you're someone watching this video and not listening to our podcast, even if though you prefer the podcast, I don't know what you're doing. And then final note, our written stuff is on our website, www.prairiereviews.com. So our written stuff reviews are right there if you ever want to check that out. So I think we should get started now.
Yes, we should get started. And the big reveal is I was right. Austin was wrong. He had her an episode before. Yelena showed up. I was right. I said 100% in the episode. No post-credit scene. I got the receipts, bros. And Nat
I got 70%.
had like a 70%, and I think he still said post-credit scene, but Austin took 0 because he's like, nah, she won't show up to episode 5. And I was like,
you want to know what's worse than that? Because I waited till later in the day to watch the episode, I actually got spoiled that she was in the episode by Florence, whatever her last name is Instagram.
Florence Pugh, the actress. Yeah.
Yeah.
I know.
Her Instagram.
I almost spoiled for it too. Yeah, because she posted it on Insta. I almost spoiled it for you too when we were texting earlier today. Like right when we were deciding when to film, I was almost going to be like, "Hey, yo, guys, what do you think, Yelena?" But then I was like, maybe they haven't seen it yet.
Yeah, no, I hadn't
Ooh.
yet.
And then Austin was like, "I didn't finish the," and I was like, "Ah."
Good
But,
call, Seb. Don't
good
reveal
call.
anything. But
anyways, Yelena shows up in a weird, like, creepy looking mask with like green eyes, and she.
I don't know. She
kicks
looks
ass.
a lot like I don't know if you guys ever watched Legend of Korra. I don't know if you guys have touched that, but there's
No,
some
I
like
have not.
non-benders who dress up like that. It looked really familiar. Okay, if you don't know the reference,
She
then
looked
it's
like a
fine,
ninja.
They're night vision
She looked like a
goggles, I would
ninja.
assume.
but yeah.
That's why
Yes,
they're the
that's what
green.
the green tint would make me think they're night vision, but and you could tell it was her right away. They didn't really try to hide it. She was using the widow bites, the gauntlets that Black Widow, like Natasha and her have used, and all the other widows. And her fighting style was very acrobatic, as the widows are. But anyways, it was a really cool fight, and Maya also held her own. But what was really cool to me was the fact that Kate already, like, I mean, she's only a black belt in karate. It's not like she's fought these, like, a Black Widow is a master assassin, but she held her own decently well, which is proving that she's like more ready for this than Clint's giving her credit for.
Absolutely.
And yeah, I thought that was a really cool fight
Speaking
scene.
about that fight scene being really cool, when that one arrow that went off, that was like a
sonic boom or some shit. Like
but like
It was like a
it was like almost like a flashbang.
like a flashbang.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was like a flashbang.
Isn't a flashbang's main piece of like disorientation sound?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Well,
so,
Maya
like,
didn't
Maya
really get affected though. She didn't.
I
really,
thought she
like,
looked. I thought she looked pretty affected to me because I was gonna
Well,
say
she got
light.
knocked back.
It could
I
be
think
the
she got knocked back
vibrations
by an
combined with the
explosion.
light, right?
It could be
I
vibration.
guess they're
that's
supposed to
true.
be really bright too. Yeah, maybe because I was gonna say that did make a whole lot of sense that she'd be hearing the flashbang at all.
She'd feel it.
Maya also got shot twice.
Yeah, that
That
too.
was
Just
I
kind of
didn't
like
expect that.
left. Yeah, like, and they were like
Just
just
took 'em.
normal arrows,
just took them.
and just took 2 of them,
Yeah.
and then dipped because she was realizing that like this wasn't like she wasn't going to win this fight.
No.
Because
Not from a
Heck no.
distance.
because yeah, Yelena was just like way too intense on this. Like even when at the end she shakes her head at Kate, like don't make a move, and then she disappears. She's still gonna next episode right away. She's gonna be trying to kill Clint. My first prediction of the episode is the review is that she's going to try and kill Clint again next episode. But by the end of the episode, she's going to realize that he's okay.
Oh, we're doing this already?
I think we start more of a mini backstory as to where Yelena just came from.
Oh, that could be too. But I also have a next week. I think they have
But
to really
actually,
sort
no, we won't do
There's
that
too
because we haven't stepped away from Clint really
Clint
at all.
or
and
Kate.
if we have, then it's been totally on Kate, right? We haven't, like I said last episode, we don't really have an omnipotent narrator. We got to kind of stay with one of those two. So we actually might not do that. Normal series, that's what I guess.
It would break the flow, I think.
Exactly.
Right now, the episode ended right where she's on like the roof, right? So you have to carry off from there.
Yeah.
Clint's dipping. But I think next week really has to touch upon, because, and I'm bringing this up, I still think, and especially after this episode, Kate's mom is sketchy. She made a sketchy phone call. I saw online people are theorizing that like it could be she called in Yelena, or she let Yelena know where Clint is. Like she works with Val, letting, because all of a sudden Yelena does show, but she makes a call and she's like, I don't remember the exact wording, but like it's telling someone that like Clint's on the case and Avengers snooping in our business. And then we find out that Jack is also like the front for a money laundering scheme. Like he runs the business and the tracksuits.
Yep.
Exactly. So there's something sketchy with those two. So we have 2 episodes left and we have to learn about their backstory kind of, or at least, but I don't think it'll be in an omnipotent way, but it's be more so through them revealing it to Clint and Kate. Kate will learn more. But I think that'll be a big piece of next week's episode. But getting back to this week, the biggest mystery is not Yelena or where Maya went. It is, what is that watch and who does that watch belong to? Because that's what the tracksuits were after. Maya keeps it in her personal apartment, but yes, like a non-fake apartment. It's just in her apartment, but it's like she's keeping this watch. Clint said it belonged to someone who had once been undercover, like who's not revealed. So I'm really curious, who's that? Whose watch is that?
Who's had a Rolex?
Well, my first thought was Tony, but like, why Tony Stark is famous? He's dead, but he's world famous. Whose watch is that? And that's the biggest question I think this episode gives us is, what's the significance of the watch?
The watch,
and like, because it's going to come into play. It's got something.
It could be because like this is what 2025 or something. Like this is like late.
Yeah, 2024
right now. Yeah, 2024, like
end of
2024. Where we actually are, right? So there's a chance
we're in like
that the answer to this question will be revealed in some of the other movies that are coming up still, because technically we're not that far yet.
That is true. There could be more context, but I still think we answer that before the season.
I think they have to, because that's its biggest mystery.
So like, far, that's the biggest thing we've traveled onto, right?
Yeah,
is the watch. That seems to be our next like point of direction.
Logical.
Right? Obviously, Yelena's huge, but we haven't gotten the Kingpin, so that is our next path, right?
See, who's the watch belong to?
No, I was gonna say, like, my original thought with that would be
some
like,
market research real quick.
Is it Peters? Because maybe
it could be
Tony
Peters.
gave it to him because Tony
like
gave him
Edith glasses.
Edith glasses, right?
Yeah, so that's true. It could be like
a Rolex too. But technically, at this point in time, oh wait, no.
It said it was at the Avengers compound though. That's where the watch was found, and the compound was destroyed in Endgame. So that's like stuff they like the sword and all that was left over and taken during cleanup of
what I was
the
thinking,
compound.
Though, was
so
like,
it's an Avengers watch. Some Avenger owned it.
Okay, so I'm on Den of Geek right now. First theory they got is Cap, which I think is horrible. I don't think
a Rolex is too high.
That doesn't make sense to me at all.
It does the next one character.
The next one is Laura Barton, but that doesn't make sense because she's not an Avenger. This is my first time
but I do have a theory about her.
And these guys are
think she could have been a spy.
Maybe, but it's
the way she knows. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Well, it was at the compound, but the way she has another. Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's something like with her, like she knows another language. She knows how Clint operates, how Nat operates. Like Clint's her husband, so it makes sense. But like she immediately talking spy stuff. She switched to another language so the kids can understand. She knows Nat's old moves. She knows Clint's strategies. It's interesting to me that she's like, and there's no confirmation that she's like what her life was before the kids, but we know that she's pretty intertwined with Clint. So I could see her maybe been a spy, maybe a SHIELD agent in a past life before, and then she had a kid, retired.
Maybe.
So I don't know.
It doesn't explain the watch.
And you guys are frozen. There you are. No, it doesn't explain the watch, but that's just another idea I have.
Yeah,
but it could
totally
maybe someone goes after her. Because Maya has Clint's family's name written. Maybe someone goes after them.
But the thing is,
maybe we have Home Alone with Avengers kids.
How do they track the watch? Do you know what I mean? They track the watch. Why can they track the
That's
watch?
true. That's true. That's true.
Maybe it
I
is
don't
Laura's.
know.
Maybe
It is a
that's
good
why.
question.
Maybe that's why they can track it.
Maybe that's why she knows about it, because she
Yeah.
said something about the watch. So it could be Laura's. I don't know. It could be Laura's, because
Yeah.
again, she knew about the watch. She was the one who brought it up to Clint in the. So who knows? I mean, I'm 99% sure
could
we will
also be
find out
somebody
the
new.
answer of to what is the watch.
100% could be someone.
Somebody knew it could be, but I think we'll get the answer by the end of the show. I think
I do-
they
I do
have
too.
to give us the answer.
I think where we are right now, I think we're either not meeting Kingpin in this, or it's going to be a very brief sort of appearance.
Yeah,
I think we're running out of time to bring
I've got
in
a
a
theory
big
on
bad
that.
like that. Go for it. Let's hear it.
I think what it's going to be is at the end of the show, because Maya is going to become the character of Echo, who's getting her own show.
Yeah.
I think at the end, Maya's going to go and like, I think she works for the Kingpin, and we're going to see a scene where like she is going to see the boss, and all we see is a conversation, and he turns around his chair and like maybe it's like, Clint Barton, stop this, or blah blah, and like, I want
Yeah.
revenge or something.
Yeah.
And then Kingpin turns around and he's like, okay, here's my plan. And that's it. That's all we get. In episode 6, it could even be a post-credit thing. But yeah, I agree that we're running out of time for him to have an impactful part of this series.
Yep.
Like,
So-
it's just, we don't have enough time for him to be established and then have a
Yeah.
presence.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we've
right.
already got villains. We've got
Yep.
the tracksuits. We've got Sketchy Mom and Jack.
Jack,
Sketchy
sketchy
Mom.
I wish I
Jack.
could remember her name.
Oh.
Yeah, but,
yeah, me neither.
It's not Holly.
No, I just like, I don't, because Kate just calls her mom. Jack's called Jack, so
Yep.
I forget. But also another point I want to touch upon
Yep.
is this idea, and I think we'll see this more in the next few episodes. But Clint's PTSD, we touched upon it in the first episode, but it's a continuing presence, and it's the reason he ditches Kate at the end of the episode.
Yep.
I'm sure that won't last long. Of course, they're going to team up again soon. They're getting new costumes being
Yep.
made by the LARPers. They
Yep,
have to team
that's-
up
That was
again.
great.
That is
But
that was
my-
such a smooth way
that
to
I-
introduce that. Like
I
I
really did
actually like
appreciate
Yeah,
they
it.
took
I agree.
like 3 episodes to set that up, just through character interactions and stuff. But I thought they did a really good job of kind of morphing that naturally into something
Yeah, it's true.
almost a little bit funny, to be quite honest with you. It's
That
an
was pretty
entertaining scene.
I don't think that
Yeah,
lady
it is
cop is getting her
entertaining.
bag back.
No, she's not
No.
getting her bag back.
No,
It is
It's
gone
probably
forever.
it's gone. It's gone. Unless Clint picked it
I
up
don't
at the
see
end
why
there when he
Clint
stormed
just
off.
didn't take the arrows out of the bag and like transfer them to
Because
a different
he
bag.
didn't have like
I
a
know, but like he could.
quiver.
like,
sheath.
Like,
Yeah, quiver,
even
not a
then,
sheath.
didn't
Sheath
Kate
is
have
sword.
stuff
Sheath is for
anyways?
sword.
Kate
Yeah, that's
could've
what-
got him something. Like there's no way
She
only
has a
one
quiver. Why didn't she put it in her quiver?
I don't know.
Well, she had some in her quiver because she shot them when she went inside.
Like, I don't know. There's
That's
a
weird.
lot of questions about that bag, but I don't think it's the right detail to focus on right now.
No, but anyways, I do think that like him holding Kate and like her almost when she was like hanging, even though Yelena is not, I mean, she's trying to kill Clint, but she doesn't want to kill everyone because she attached Kate to the arrow so that Kate didn't die, like the grappling arrow when she threw her off the roof,
Yeah, she's
so that
showing.
she kind of hung there. And
She's
Kate,
yeah, and see,
she's
so
an
like,
anti-hero right now.
yeah, and that sort of behavior sort of goes further to say that the Yelena that we got to know in Black Widow hasn't fallen back into any sort of like manipulation things because her
true.
head's still in it. Because if her
Yeah.
head wasn't in it,
Yes.
she takes out everybody.
She's still Yelena.
everybody, right? Instead, she's
Oh,
just
they're
an
all dead.
assassin.
They're
with a
all
mark.
dead.
And
Yes.
she has enough there that
Yeah.
she's like, "Hey, you seem useless. I'm not gonna kill you. You
Are you
dangle."
trying to do an accent?
Yeah, you're not a
Damn.
threat.
At all. Not a threat at all. No, that
He
was
was
not
trying
an
to do
accent
the
at all.
Yelena. That was bad.
I'll give that a shot in our Christmas video.
It kind of sounded like one.
I feel like Seb is
Okay.
lagging behind.
While I
quite
wear
a
the
Yeah,
bit.
you guys, I've been freezing.
While I wear the bag, apparently.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I forgot there was a bet on this.
Stupid
Yes,
totally
it-
forgot
IMDb
about the
just
bet.
screwing me.
No, no,
Oh.
this isn't the bet. This isn't the
Oh,
bet. You've
the
still got a
bag's on
chance. The
Christmas.
bet's if Clint goes
And
for
this is
if
what I was
Clint
saying.
shows up for Christmas.
Okay, good. Because the further along we get, it looks less and less likely that homie's making it. I just
I'm
wanna put
thinking
that out
it's. I'm the opposite. I'm thinking
You gotta
it's-
have less
but it's
faith.
more and more likely that he's going to be there Christmas because it's every Christmas story ends with them making it at home in time for Christmas. Even
I'll
in
be-
Marvel.
I still think there's a legitimate chance that he dies at the end of this. So
No, I don't think he dies, and I also think they've just
Is there?
been. I don't know.
Could
Marvel
happen.
gets depressing, but they've
I
been
think
like
it could happen.
trying to
I don't
be.
want it
they've,
to.
they've been trying to be a little more upbeat ever since Endgame, since that was their big depressing odyssey
Yep.
of a story.
Yep.
So I don't think they're going to kill Clint right now.
I don't see that happening either. But
But also,
I wouldn't
I
be
like the
surprised,
Christmas
right?
Yeah,
scene. That was a fun upbeat scene, even
Yep.
though it was kind of depressing because it also represented how Clint wasn't home for Christmas.
Yep.
But you know, they had
Okay.
like they had daiquiris, and like Clint was showing her how like Clint, as he's supposed to be, is a marksman with anything. He is the best marksman in the world.
Yep.
And like dude could shoot like a coin and shut off the TV, which was
that's
pretty
actually
cool.
really hard.
Damn, like that's so cool. But no, I like that scene. I also like what it reveals about like the best shot he ever took was the shot he didn't take. About like
Yep.
see,
That was
I
cool.
think that might come back. I think that's foreshadowing. I think Kate's not going to take a shot. She's going to learn from that. At some point, maybe not in this show, but at some point, that's going to come back to her, and she's going to have the choice to either take or save a life that could be redeemed, and she's going to save a life.
Yelena?
Maybe that's
Possibly
even the Yelena.
Maybe
could be.
Yelena kills
A
Clint,
Black Widow.
and then
I
then
don't
Kate
think
has a chance to
Yelena
revenge kill?
Yelena
No, it
won't
wouldn't be
kill
in this
Clint.
movie. It
It
won't be in
makes
the show.
Yelena too hard to like. No, I love Yelena, but if she
It
kills
breaks her
Clint,
character. It
Yeah,
destroys
yeah.
her
people are going to be
reputation.
so pissed.
Yep.
People love Clint, and this show's making him even more liked. Like people have
Totally.
really started to like Clint the past few movies,
Yeah.
and this is getting him even.
Oh,
more
absolutely.
hyped.
I mean,
'Cause
his
he's-
introduction movie was him getting taken over, so I don't know.
Yeah, I
feel
mean he
like-
was mind controlled in event. Well, yeah.
Yep.
I felt
He's
bad
finally
for him.
starting to get some screen time. So
Yeah.
branding, right?
It is branding. It's all branding. But
Yeah.
no, I don't have too much else, boys. Is there anything else you'd like to touch upon for this episode? Any more theories? I've given most of mine.
I think you
Nat,
covered
anything?
most of the main stuff you already covered, honestly. Yeah, honestly, this is what it.
any
I was gonna say if Yelena didn't appear in the episode and there was a post-credit scene, then she would have been there. Like if there was a post-credit scene, she would have been in the post-credit
Yep.
scene.
Yep.
But
Well, yes. She was
any-
making it in this episode.
any very specific predictions for next week? Like not like broad episode based or like season based or anything really specific that is going to happen.
Next week, my big one is we see some, not maybe the full story, some insight into Jack or Kate's mom. Some insight. We get to know a little bit more about their past. That's my biggest. I don't know what it is. I don't know how it'll be shown, but I think there's got to be, because I don't think you want to do that because
No, you
technically
don't.
the episodes have been getting shorter. You don't want to do that all in episode 6.
No.
So
See,
you got to do some of it in 5,
and
I
that's,
think.
That's the
So that's
tricky
my
piece,
theory.
right? Like we're only 4 episodes into this season, but like in reality,
It's
next week-
6 episodes.
next week
It's
is
the
our make or
penultimate-
break, right?
that's true.
penultimate.
Because like your finale has to be centered around something that happens next week. You have to set some big thing up, otherwise you don't get to end your series with a conclusion. There has to be about 10 minutes left in that finale
Yes.
for like a book closing moment. So you have to open the
Closing.
book next week for sure. Right?
True. Yeah, that's fair.
The book closing
And
is
it can't
not
be
going to
the
be him getting home
tracksuits.
for
They're
Christmas,
too
by the way.
pathetic to be the big villains. It
That's
is.
true.
It
It's
is.
not. It's not. I
It
will-
is.
I will.
But no, it can't be
No,
the
I'm not gonna raise
tracksuits.
that. Never mind.
You're betting
No,
the
it
bet.
can't.
That don't raise the bet.
I was going to raise
You've already
the
got
stakes.
wearing the bag.
I was gonna.
I'll be
I'm gonna raise
Don't
it to
raise
wearing.
it.
I was gonna
Bet
raise it to
commissioner
wearing the
here.
bag in public, but I'm not that confident yet.
I was gonna raise it to filming the video outdoors and wearing. I wasn't decided undies or onesie, but
I
one
have
of
a
the two.
onesie. I have a onesie. I have a camel onesie.
I have a onesie too. That's the thing. I have a like a checkered like
Dang.
a checkered onesie.
We
that I
should
got
let
a
our
few years
adored
ago for Christmas.
viewers not listen to our onesie conversation.
If they made it this far in the video, honestly, they
No,
can hear what the
But
conversation.
you guys can hear this. If you like our content, like Nat said, please subscribe. And from everyone here at the Prairie Grown Reviews team, see you guys next time.